Bitcoin could be getting ready to head down towards 16K once again. So I just want to go over a few things in the charts, you guys, that are popping out at me here. Just a couple levels I'm watching and that kind of thing. Zoomed in on the 15-minute chart here. You guys see that I have this yellow box outlined here as well as this red box. They're both fairly important pivotal points just as far as this micro trend goes. But you can see we obviously had some trading back in this yellow zone here. You can see we got it respected as support several times, and now we actually even got a little bit of resistance here. And even back here, it never lasted long, but you can just see it's a bit of a pivotal point in the market. And the same thing goes for this red box. We obviously find some interesting structure there. I actually ended up taking a short off this level yesterday when I saw that we were getting rejected from this red box, and as well some indicators lining up with it. I ended up taking a short at 17,072. I closed it all this morning at about 16.8K. But something that has developed in the charts here is we've actually ended up closing below this yellow box. And something that I was kind of expecting if we were going to be carrying on to the upside. I mean, one thing to consider is we do still technically have this support, this yellow line mapped out, as well as some other support I'm going to get into. But just right now, looking at things as far as structure goes here, I know this is just the 15-minute, but we have this high here, and we have a higher high up here. So our lowest point below those two things, this would be our high or low from previous structure here. If we were going to carry on this trend, I would have thought that we would have held on to this higher low here. The fact that we ended up actually dropping below this level, even though we are back above it, we kind of did at least break that structure, it's looking like. And now that we're possibly even flipping this yellow box into resistance once again, I just don't want to rule out the possibility that the price may be getting ready to drop a little further. We did have this nice little move to the downside, so you know what, maybe we do end up pumping from here. If we ended up just climbing back above this yellow box, bouncing above this red box, especially if we get back above this red box resistance and flip that into support, I think then the price could be getting set to climb a little bit higher. And just looking for a couple targets there. Just zooming out a little bit, you can see we have some resistance back here around 18K, 18.1K, somewhere in there, all the way up towards like 18.7K. I'd be interested in watching for resistance in those kind of areas. But right now, another thing that I'm watching is this upward sloping trend line. I know I mapped it out in my previous video. We have 3 perfect touch points along that trend line. I was saying to watch for this. And that's actually why I ended up closing my short, was just because, you know, we ended up testing that support I was talking about in my last video, so may as well close it. But one thing to watch for is that now that we do have these 3 touch points, if we end up getting rejected from this yellow box right now and getting closes below this green line after those 3 touch points, end up flipping it into resistance, I think that could send the price of Bitcoin down quite a bit. Something to watch for as far as a false break would go is that maybe we do have this falling wedge playing out. So even though we were trading a little lower, we may still be bullish, ready to break out of a bigger pattern. But that's just a trend line I would be watching on the way down, perhaps even lining up, like I said, if we end up getting below this, kind of come up and come back down from there, retesting this kind of support of this wedge. I mean, that would line up quite well with getting closer to that 16K region with this support back here or even here. We obviously do have some support below us, so not all hope is lost. I think that, you know, the price isn't in too bad of a position yet. If we end up dropping below this, if this wedge is not a thing, and I mean, it definitely doesn't have to be, if we drop this green upward sloping trend line, we may end up getting sent back down towards this support down here, or even testing back down to our lows at about 15.5K. If these lows are swept, I think that's where we have to start really considering the fact that we're going down towards 14 or even 10K at that point. We'll obviously have to see how it goes swing by swing, but I think that's a very realistic possibility if we end up sweeping these lows. Unless it ends up being some kind of a fake out, obviously, just a quick wick, get back above those levels, I would be zooming into even shorter time frames, and I'd be looking for a reason to get long if we did get some kind of a deviation fake out. The chances of this wedge being a thing, I don't know. We'll see. I'm more interested in this green line and kind of these red boxes up here before I kind of, I guess, get a better idea of what's going on here. Just to pull up some Fibonacci's as well. Like I said, I'd obviously be targeting the structure either here or down here if we end up dropping the green line. But I'd also be interested in watching some Fibonacci levels. The 786 and 886, you guys know, anyone following my channel for quite a while now, you'll know that I love those targets. So that would send us all the way down, yeah, below 16K as well. That would be kind of that 15.7, maybe 15.5, 15.7K, somewhere in there. That is really not off the table at this point. We're going to have to see what happens, but those are just some targets I'm looking for, you guys. Just going to really zoom in here. See how things are looking. Bring up the MDX Algo 3. Oh, we actually have the 1 hour trend confluence catching up with the price after this dump here. So that's just another little bit of resistance matching up with my yellow box here. So we'll have to watch how that goes. I'll just, when I use these indicators, I like to do my own analysis with them. That's why I don't have the signals on yet. I'm just looking for the moving average there, but I'm going to pull up the signals here just to see what's going on here. Yeah, and you can see that it's starting, since I have it on the hourly trend confluence, it's calling for shorts at these levels. So I don't like to take these signals when we're this far away, but now that we're getting closer to this trend confluence, I mean, that can end up being a powerful tool. So yeah, that's another thing on my radar there. Just another little bit of resistance kind of that Bitcoin has to overcome here. So yeah, we're going to have to see how this goes. Anyways, guys, just a real quick market update. I just wanted to bring up a few levels to your attention, just a few levels that I'm watching in the market. Like I said, if we dump this green line and respect it as resistance, expect a little tumble down. But if we can get back above kind of that 17.1, 17.2K and actually close above, not just wicks, because if we wick and get rejected, that's just another lower high type of situation. But yeah, if we can start closing candles above that and start respecting that red box as support, then I think the price will be set to go a little higher. So those are some important levels in my opinion. Obviously, none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions, backtest your own patterns, your own trade setups and that kind of thing. But like I said, if you appreciate my take on the market and just kind of getting an idea of what I'm looking at, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. With that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.